Go.
So good day everyone. I'm Joyson Manzano and I'm with Mr. Denmark Matiliano. So today we will be discussing technology in retail. So may I call Mr. Denmark to discuss the introduction of the technology in retail.
So introduction. Technology has transformed the retail landscape by streamlining operation, enhancing customer experience, and enabling data-driven decision making. From AI-powered product recommendation to automated warehouses, technology helps retailers respond to rapidly changing consumer demands and stay competitive in a digital economy. Excuse me. So for the first one is personalization, AI in retail. So AI has evolved far beyond just chatbots or automation. So it now plays a crucial role in creating smart personalization shopping experience. So the first one is personalized recommendation. So AI algorithm analyze browsing and purchase history to suggest products tailored to individual preferences. So one of the visible uses of AI in retail uh, is personalized product suggestion. Yung mga kumpanya like Amazon, Lazada, they use AI algorithms para matrack yung customers view, click, and buys. So based on this behavior, yung AI recommends products that yung mga customer is most likely to be interested in. So significantly increase the chance of a sale and boost customer satisfaction. Kasi as people feel that the platform understands their preferences. So the next is chatbots and virtual assistant. AI-powered chatbots provide 24/7 customer support, answer queries, and guide users through the purchase process. Excuse me. So many retailers now use AI-powered chatbots to offer customer service 24/7. So for instance, no yung Sephora's virtual artist. So it helps customers try on makeup digitally. So while naman sa Globe Telecom dito sa Pilipinas, they use chatbot for customer support. So ito yung system na to, they can handle questions, help track orders, and even provide personalized recommendation kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina without needing a human agent. So the next po is demand forecasting. AI predicts future sales based on historical data, seasonality, and market trends to optimize inventory levels. So yung AI sa demand forecasting also helps in predicting future product demands. So for example po dito yung mga grocery stores, they can anticipate higher sales of a specific item during the holidays by analyzing past trends, weather forecasts, and local events. So this helps in preventing stockouts or overstocking. The next po is visual search. Retailers like Shopee Visual Search use AI to let user upload image and find similar products. So yung mga retailers like Shopee, they offer a feature where yung mga customers, they can upload an image of an item they like. So hindi na sila kung di nila alam yung pangalan ng item na yon, they can just upload the image. And the app will find similar products. This especially useful when customers don't know the name, kaya sabi ko kanina, and brand of what they are looking for. So the last po is fraud detection. AI helps detect suspicious behavior and prevent fraudulent transaction. So AI and fraudulent detection helps detect fraud by identifying unusual purchase patterns. So such as multiple purchase from different location using the same account. This ensures safer shopping for customers and protects businesses from financial loss. So the next is big data in retail. So big data refers to the large volumes of data generated through customer interactions, social media, for example, sales transaction, and more. When analyzed correctly, this data provides valuable insights that help retailers make better decisions. So the first one po under big data in retail is understand consumer behavior. By analyzing purchase patterns, demographics, and online activities. So yung mga retailers, they gather data from online shopping habits, so in-store visits or loyalty card, and social media activity. With this, they can build detailed customer profiles and para ma-understand yung mga preference nila, yung shopping times, at saka yung budget range. So the next is pricing strategy. Real-time competitive pricing based on demand, seasonality, and inventory. So mga retailers like Zalora adjust product prices based on real-time demand, inventory levels, and competitor pricing. So this ensures they remain competitive and profitable. So the next is customer segmentation. Targeted marketing based on data-driven segmentation. So yung mga brands po, they use data group customer based on age, location, income, and interest. For example po, yung Bench or SM Retail, they may send special offers to college students sa mga urban areas while sending different promotions doon po sa mga working professionals. So next po is store layout optimization. Insights into shopper behavior can improve product placements and store design. So sa mga physical stores po, sensors and cameras collect data on customer movement. So nakakatulong po ito to identify areas gets most attention or foot traffic. Based on this, retailers can rearrange display to boost visibility and sales of a specific product. So the last po under big data in retail is supply chain efficiency. Supply chain efficiency enhances demand planning and reduces stock out and overstocking. So big data helps retailers to forecast which products will be in demand sa gantong location or season. Yes, location and season. This helps in better stocking, stock planning, fast delivery, and para ma-avoid po yung waste due to overproduction. So the next po is automation in retail, which will be reported by Joyce and Manzano. Kamute ka tayo.
So automation in retail operation. So automation refers yan sa paggamit ng mga machines, software, and technology para makapag-perform ng tasks with minimal human effort. So in retail, yung automation is nakakatulong siya para ma-improve yung efficiency and also yung customer experience. So under ng automation in retail operation is inventory management. Automated system track stock levels, reorder products, and reduce shrinkage. So, automated inventory management system is yan yung mga nag-utilize ng real-time data from sensors and software para ma-track yung stock levels. So, itong automated inventory management, ina-allow yung proactive reordering, minimizing stock outs, yung mga product na paubos na, and yung overstocking is yan naman yung mga product na too much na sa inventory. So, the constant monitoring also helps para mabawas yung shrinkage, like yung pagkawala ng mga product nila kasi ninanakaw, yung mga damage, and also yung error. So, this leads to significant cost savings and improved efficiency. So, for example is, kunwari, mayroong grocery store na gumagamit ng automated system na tinatrack yung mga number ng mga bilang ng carton nila dun sa store nila. So, when the system detects that the stock is failing below a preset, it automatically generate a purchase order dun sa supplier nila para ma-ensure nila na yung product na yun is hindi siya mauubos and always siyang merong stock. So, napaprevent nito yung pagkawala ng sales due to the stock outs ng product na yun, and also mas nare-reduce dito yung need for manual stock checks. So, next is self-checkout kiosk. Allow customer to scan and pay without cashier assistance. So, self-checkout kiosk is allowing the customer na maging independent sa pag-scan, sa paglalagay ng product, pagbabaggage and pagbayad nung kanilang binili. So, reducing reliance on human cashier. So, this speeds up the checkout process and also napapababa nito yung labor cost and na-enhance yung customer convenience by offering a faster and more independent shopping experience. Pero napapataas nito yung shoplifting and the need for stop assistant to resolve yung mga technical issues or handle complex transactions are significant drawbacks. So, for example, madaming large supermarket chains katulad ng mga Kroger, Walmart have widely implemented self-checkout kiosks. So, customers scan their items, bag them, and pay them using credit card or iba pang electronic payment method. Well, this speed up the checkout process para sa mga ibang customer. It requires staff din. Kinakailangan din to ng staff para ma-assist yung mga problem ng mga customer nila, such as yung mga error sa pagbayad ng product nila. So, next is warehouse automation. So, next is warehouse automation. Use of robots to pick, pack, and move inventory. So, warehouse operation, involved dito yung paggamit ng mga robots and automated system para makapag-handle sila ng tasks such as yung sorting, picking, and packing, and also transporting goods. So, this significantly increase yung efficiency, accuracy, and also yung speed, particularly dun sa beneficial para dun sa mga e-commerce businesses na nag-handle ng mga high volume of orders. So, it also reduces yung mga physical strain ng mga workers nila and enables to work 24/7 operation. So, kunwari, for example, Amazon is gumagamit sila ng Kiva robots as a prime example. So, this robot is nag-move sila ng mga shelves of product to human pickers and nababawasan dito yung time and effort na nire-require to allocate the item. So, itong system na to is they dramatically increases the speed and efficiency para ma-fulfill yung order. So, next is RFID technology, speed of inventory tracking and prevent thefts. So, yung RFID means radio frequency identification. Yan yung mga small electronic tags na naka-attach dun sa product or dun sa packaging packaging para ma-track yung movement throughout sa supply chain. So, itong RFID scanner is they can read yung mga tags kahit hindi nire-require dito yung harap-harapang pag-i-scan mga barcode. So, hindi siya katulad sa mga traditional barcode na lalapit ka pa and i-scan mo yung product. So, itong RFID is napapabilis dito yung inventory audits, nababawasan yung pagkawala ng mga product, pagkasira ng mga product. And also, mas na-improve dito yung supply chain visibility. So, for example, yung Zara, yung Zara is gumagamit sila ng RFID tags para ma-track nila yung inventory from the manufacturing facility hanggang dun sa store nila. So, itong RFIDs, ina-allow sila na maging accurate sa pag-monitor ng stock levels, ma-identify nila kung ano yung mga product na nawawala, and mas na-allocate nila kung nasan yung product na yon within their store. So, dito is nababawasan nga yung theft and also mas na-improve yung efficiency of inventory management. So, lastly, na under ng automation and retail operation is automated delivery. Drones and self-driving vehicles are being tested for faster, cost-effective delivery. So, automated delivery systems such as drone deliveries and autonomous vehicles is aimed to revolutionize last mile logistics. So, they promise so itong mga drones, parang pinapromise nila that they have a faster and cheaper and more convenient delivery, especially dun sa mga lugar na mahirap i-reach. Like, kunwari tayo, taga Luzon tayo, tapos taga Mindanao yung kukuhanin natin ng product. Pero itong mga technology na yan, yung mga drone na yan, is pinag-aaralan pa rin sila and inaalam pa rin kung ano yung mga significant challenges na or mga risks na pwedeng mangyari if gagamit ka na. So, kunwari, for example, companies like Amazon nagtitest sila ng mga drone deliveries sa specific area para sa mabilis na delivery ng mga smaller packages. So, autonomous vehicles is tinetest din siya for delivery ng mga malalaking items. So, potentially reducing delivery costs and improving efficiency. Meron yung dalawang yon. Pero itong mga technology na to, hindi pa sila gaanong nilalabas na dahil nga sa risk na pwedeng mangyari sa product na yun. So, next is role of sustainability. So, sustainability in retail means using technology to reduce environmental impact and promote responsible practices. So, under ng role of sustainability is smart packaging. Biodegradable materials and intelligent labels that monitor freshness or usage. So, smart packaging goes beyond simplified containing a product. It actively contributes dun sa sustainability. So, involved dito yung paggamit ng mga eco-friendly materials like biodegradable plastic or recyclable cardboard or reducing environmental impact. So, additionally, yung intelligent features such as yung mga time temperature indicators or yung mga freshness indicators para ma-extend yung shelf time ng mga product and also ma-minimize yung food waste. So, for example, meron yogurt container na made siya from plant-based. So, compostable materials incorporates yung time temperature indicator na nakalabel dun sa product. Na kung saan is yung yogurt is nag-iiba siya ng color and na-expose siya sa temperature na ano pala siya, na-expose siya sa lugar na, kunwari sa mainit, diba yung yogurt, minsan napapanis siya. So, dito is mas na-alert yung mga nagkakaroon ng idea mga customers natin kung ano yung potential spoilage or mas na-prevent nila dito yung pagbili ng mga sobra-sobra and mas nababawasan dito yung food waste. So next is in energy management. Smart sensors and AI reduce energy used in store and warehouses. So smart sensors and AI is transforming energy management in retail. So itong mga system na to is minamonitor dito yung energy consumption in real time. Like providing data-driven insights para ma-optimize yung energy usage. So by adjusting yung light, heating, and cooling based dun sa occupancy, and time of the day and iba pang other factors, yung mga retailers, they can significantly reduce their energy bills and carbon footprint. So for example, mayroong large retail store na gumagamit ng smart sensors para ma-monitor nila yung lighting levels and occupancy ng mga different areas sa store nila. So yung system is they can automatically na i-turn off yung lights or kaya dim lights lang siya dun sa mga unoccupied areas. So sa ganung way is nababawasan yung energy consumption. So similarly din siya sa heating and cooling system. Ina-adjust nila yon depende dun sa real-time temperature data and sa occupancy levels. So next is sustainable sourcing. Blockchain helps verify the ethical origin of products and materials. So blockchain technology offers increased transparency and traceability dun sa supply chain. So by recording yung mga information about sa origin and the journey ng product para sa security nila, yung mga retailers, they can verify yung ethical sourcing ng mga raw materials para ma-ensure nila yung fair labor practices and also mabawasan yung environmental damage from nagaling dun sa unsustainable sourcing and also para makapag-build sila ng customer trust. So, kunwari, for example, mayroong clothing brand na gumagamit ng blockchain para matrack nila yung journey ng mga cotton ng mga product nila galing dun sa farm para matapos nila yung mga garments. So, each step ng process from planting to harvesting, to processing, and hanggang sa manufacturing, recorded siya dun sa blockchain para makapag-provide ng complete history yung mga businesses dun sa product na binebenta nila. So itong transparency na to is inaalaw yung mga consumer na ma-verify yung cotton na yon is nanggaling talaga siya kung ano yung nakalagay dun sa label ng product na binebenta nila. Like nga sa clothes. So next is circular economy initiatives. App and platforms promote resale, recycling, and product take schemes. So, circular economy initiative is nakafocus siya dun sa pag-i-extend ng life cycle ng product and mabawasan yung waste. So, involved dito yung pag-i-encourage natin sa mga customer natin na gumamit sila ng product through take-back programs or kaya pag-o-offer ng mga repair services or facilitating the resale ng mga used items. So, mobile apps and online platforms are playing a key role in connecting to the consumers with this initiative. So, kunwari, for example, mayroong electronic retailers na nag-offer ng take-back program para doon sa mga old smartphones nila. So, yung mga consumer, they can return yung mga old device nila dun sa store na yon na kung saan is maaayos pa and pwede pang mabenta na kung saan is magkakaroon din sila ng kita. So yung the retailer also partners with the resale platform to offer republished devices to consumers para ma-extend dito yung life cycle ng mga products and also mabawasan yung e-waste. So yung mga mobile apps is ina-allow yung mga consumer na ma-allocate yung drop-off points for their recycling and also yung trade-in programs. So next is role of ethics. Ethics in retail technology means using innovation responsibly and fairly. So meron important ethical concerns. Yung ethical concerns, yung role of ethics. So una na dito is yung data privacy. Retailers must handle customer data responsibly. Compliance is required under the Data Privacy Act of 2012, Republic Act number 10173, which ensures the protection of personal information collected by businesses. So, the increasing collection and use ng mga customer data for marketing and personalization is hesitant strict adherence of data privacy regulations. Like, katulad nga nung sa law na binanggit ko na kung saan is pinaprotect yung information ng mga customer para maiwasan yung mga identity theft. So, requiring transparency in data collection practices and obtaining explicit consent from the individuals bago nila gamitin yung data na yun. So, yung mga retailers, they must implement robust data security para para ma-prevent yung breaches and ma-ensure yung responsible data handling. Kunwari, for example, merong online retailers yung nag-collect ng consumer data. So, including na dito yung pag-browse sa history, mga purchase information. So, before collecting yung mga data na yun, yung mga retailer, dapat nagpa-provide sila ng clear and concise privacy policy outlining how the data, kung paano gagamitin yung data and kung saan gagamitin. So, yung mga customer is binibigyan sila ng option kung okay lang bang gamitin or pwedeng gamitin yung data na kinolect para sa marketing purpose. So, yung mga retailers, they also implement yung strong security measures para katulad ng mga access control para ma-protect yung data ng mga consumer nila from the unauthorized access or breaches. So, kunwari, merong data breach na nangyari, yung mga retailers, i-inform nila yung mga customer nila na affected, ganon, and gagawa sila ng step na kung saan is napaprotect pa rin nila yung data ng mga consumers nila. So next is AI bias, ensuring that AI systems do not discriminate based on race, gender, or location. So retailers increasingly rely on AI algorithms for pricing, recommendation, or yung di kaya mga hiring decision. Pero yung mga algorithms na yan, they can perpetuate or amplify existing societal biases if not carefully designed and monitored. So regular audits and bias detection mechanism is essential siya para ma-ensure yung fairness and inclusivity. So for example, merong AI-powered recommendation system and they might appropriately recommend certain products to a specific demographic group based dun nga sa historical data na nagre-reflect sa existing bias nila. Kunwari, for example, they might show more expensive product to sa consumers nila in wealthier zip code kahit na yung consumers is naghahanap sila ng mga similar dun sa product pero in lower price. So, next is job displacement. Automation may lead to job losses. Retailers need strategies for workforce reskilling. So, automation and AI-driven technologies can increase efficiency in retail, pero they can also lead to job displacement, katulad ng mga low-skill position. So, ethical retailers dapat they proactively address yung mga issues na yon by investing in reskilling and upskilling ng mga program para makatulong doon sa mga affected workers na kung saan is kapag nililipat sila ng new rules is or new station is hindi nila alam kung paano yung gagawin. So for example, AI grocery store, AI grocery, a grocery store chain nag-implement sila ng automated checkout kiosk na kung saan is binawasan yung human need, yung mga human cashier. Pero yung mga retailers, they also invest doon sa mga training program na kung saan is yung mga cashier nila is nagre-require ng new skills katulad ng data entry, customer service dun sa other area ng store, and also warehouse management. So, next is transparency. Ethical labeling and truthful advertising are crucial in building trust. So, consumers are increasingly demanding transparency regarding dun sa mga product ingredient, kung saan ba siya nanggaling, and ano yung environmental impact. So, ethical labeling and clear communication build trust sa mga customers nila, and inaallow yung mga customer nila na makagawa ng informed decision making about dun sa product na bibilin nila. So, kasi kapag nagpa-provide tayo ng transparency, parang nafe-feel ng mga consumer, parang nafe-feel ng mga consumer natin na tinatrato natin sila ng tama and hindi natin sila ginugulangan. So, parang gano'n, nagkakaroon kayo ng long-term relationship dun sa mga customer natin, and nagkakaroon pa ng chance na pwede silang bumalik-balik sa atin. So, next is customer manipulation. Next is customer manipulation. Use of behavioral data for psychological targeting raises moral concern. So, retailers, they collect vast amounts of behavioral data na kung saan is ginagamit nila for their target marketing. Pero yung mga ethical concern is nangyayari siya kapag yung data is ginagamit para manipulahin yung mga customer natin. Katulad ng sabihin natin na, super overspend ka na sa product na yan, gano'n. Sige, okay lang yung bili ka pa, kahit over the budget ka na. For example, may online retailer na gumagamit ng behavioral data para makagawa ng personalized advertisement na kung saan is about sa customer psychological. So, parang ganun. So, parang nafe-feel ng mga customer natin na, parang ginagamit din lang tayo ng so, ethical concerns arise kapag yung mga tactics is ginagamit ng mga target vulnerable population katulad ng mga children, individuals, or addictive tendency. So that's the end of our report. So we will be having a question and answer portion with Mr. Den.
So first partner is AI is transforming how retailers interact with customers. Think chatbots for customer service, recommendation engines like those used nga, di ba, ng Amazon, and dynamic pricing. But it also helps on the back end with inventory prediction and fraud detection. So my questions for you is, do you think AI will eventually replace most retail jobs or just support them?
So yung AI is more likely to support rather than completely replace yung mga retail jobs, especially sa future. So it can handle repetitive tasks like customer queries, stock analysis, and sales prediction. Pero yung human roles in customer relationship management, creative marketing, and strategic decision-making is super essential pa rin siya. Kasi the ideal future in human AI collaboration na kung saan is yung AI ini-improve yung efficiency, and yung human naman is nakafocus siya dun sa mga area na kung saan is nare-require yung emotional intelligence and yung creativity. So, my question for you is, we all know that the retailers collect massive amounts of data. Purchase history, browsing behavior, even na yung mga foot traffic dun sa mga store. So, big data is nakakatulong siya para ma-improve yung marketing, stock management, and customer experience. So, my question for you is, how can retailers balance using customer data while maintaining privacy and trust?
So I think retailers should focus on transparent data processes, no? So this means being clear about what data is collected, uh, para saan siya ginagamit and paano siya ginagamit, and how it is protected. Tools like data anonymization, opt-in consent, and easy privacy controls helps build trust. So yung mga regulations like GDPR have pushed companies to be more ethical. Pero trust comes from a brand consistently respecting yung mga yung privacy ng customer nila and offering value in exchange for data. So my question for you, partner, is automation includes self-checkouts machine, warehouse robots, and inventory drones. So nababawasan nito yung cost and yung mga human errors, but can impact jobs. So my questions for you is, should retailers prioritize automation even if it's displaces human workers?
So, yung automation is nagbibigay siya ng clear business benefits, lower cost, and better accuracy, and also yung fast services. Pero yung ethical companies, they should adopt a balanced approach, like investing in automation while also reskilling their employees for their new roles. So, hindi siya pwedeng about lang siya sa pag-replace ng mga workers nila, but also involving their roles. So for example, i-move mo yung mga cashiers sa mga in-store customer experience specialists. So yung mga retailers dapat they prioritize both tech and people na magkaroon ng long-term loyalty and long-term success para sa kanilang business. So my next question for you, that modern consumers care about sustainability. So yung mga retailers, they are responding by offering eco-friendly products, reducing packaging waste, and also optimizing logistics to cut emissions. So my question for you is, can sustainability be profitable, or it is just a cost for businesses?
So I think sustainability can absolutely be profitable. Maraming eco-conscious brands are growing because because customers are willing to pay more for green products. So sustainable practices like energy efficiency, waste reduction, and eco packaging, it can also cut long-term operational costs. So in fact, sustainability, it often drives innovation and differentiation in the market. So it is more of an investment than a cost. So for the last question of our Q&A session, ethical issues in retail tech include data usage, surveillance, and AI bias. There's a growing pressure para dun sa mga retailers para maging transparent and fair in their practices. So my questions for you is, who should be responsible for setting and enforcing ethical standards in retail? Yung governments ba, or yung mga companies, or tayong mga consumers?
So I think it should be a shared responsibility. So for the government, they must set yung mga clear regulation para maprotektahan nila yung mga consumer nila and also yung mga workers. So para sa company naman, they must uphold ethical standard beyond what's legally required para magkaroon ng trust and para makapag-build sila ng loyalty. So for the consumer naman is they can drive ethical change through their buying choices and by holding brands accountable. So ultimately, a collaborative effort is needed para makagawa ng fair and responsible retail ecosystem. So thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you everyone for listening.